In this lesson, Eva and I are going to show you how to handle fencing lefties on the piece. We can all relate to the difficulty that lefties create when we're fencing them. This is the same for left-handed fencers who are fencing left-handed fencers. So in this lesson, we're going to be looking at how we can manage that and kind of overcome the difficulties that are presented there. The first thing we're going to be looking at is distance. Now, as a right-handed fencer fencing someone who's left-handed, you're not going to notice it at first, but you're going to be a lot closer to your opponent. And as a left-handed fencer, you again aren't going to notice it, but you're going to be a little further away from your opponent. So Eva's going to stand on guard for us. I'm going to demonstrate. So, as a right-handed fencer, my right hand is going to be threatening her left. Now this means her left arm being forward. Both targets are much closer than they would be if we had complementary domains. So if I was left-handed, my left hand would be facing her right hand, which means we have the same distance apart. However, when it's my right hand facing her left, this means I'm now much closer than I realize. And this is very dangerous because the left-handed fencer is used to fencing more righties, so they're adjusted to this distance already. Now, once you recognize the distance, you're able to change that situation, take control. Moving further, what you're going to notice is because the distance is always closer, the left-handed fencer is going to be a lot more used to infighting, close quarters action, which is going to be very difficult if you're not used to it. So you're always going to be attacking from too close, and that makes their parries, their defensive a lot easier. So if I'm attacking the invited line, which is 4, I attack, she parries. I'm really close, so she doesn't have to do anything to really hit me. Same thing, if I'm going to attack her in 6 because I know that this is an invitation, all she's going to do is tuck her arm back, and now that area is completely protected. I land flat, or maybe I hit the arm that's off target. If she does block me, then she can just take that action right away. So when you identify your distance and you separate, this means you have more time. You can attack that invitation, you can take the bait, expecting that parry, so Eva's going to make that parry against me, and I disengage, and I come around to the other line. Maybe you hit the arm, maybe you hit the target, but whatever it is, your opponent hasn't taken right away from you. So lefties do like a lot of infighting. The next thing you can do is if you are aware that the distance is collapsed and you want to do infighting, you can find different lines to hit. So I know this is an invitation, so I'm going to attack. She makes the parry. I'm expecting the riposte. Here's my counter parry. I'm going to step in even further, and I'm going to make a riposte in pre. This allows me to take control of the distance even though it is in Eva's favor. You can't do this all the time, but if you recognize the distance is close, you can use that to your benefit. The next part that we're going to look at is a lefty fencing a lefty. If you are a left-handed fencer and you've had the misfortune to fence a lefty in a bout, you're going to realize and understand how frustrating it can really be. For a lot of people, it ends up just turning into a brawl, and this is because you are learning in the moment that the distance is different. So we're going to have a look at what that is like trying to navigate fencing someone who's left-handed. So the first thing you're going to notice is that the distance is a lot greater than when I was facing Eva as a righty. We have more separations for our blades. They're just barely able to make contact, whereas before they were overlapping quite easily. This means I'm not used to attacking from here. I'm going to attack from too far. I'm going to fall short. She's going to parry. She can make that riposte. Or, realizing I'm too far away, I'm going to unnecessarily crush the distance with a lot of preparations. And now I'm really too close. There's a stop hit. And I'm in trouble. So, when you recognize that you are dealing with greater distance, you want to change your game to work with this. This means you have more time to set up, you can create more feints. So I'm going to again invite into 4. So if I step in, Eva comes in to take my action, she attacks, here's my parry, and I'm going to make a riposte to the back. Vice versa. I attack Eva in 4, she can immediately close out and make a direct riposte. So these are all simple actions that we struggle with unless we recognize that distance has changed. So, if we are fencing someone in a new distance, we have to first transition into that. We can still do the same thing we're doing, we just need a little bit more preparation time. So, if you're fencing someone left-handed, remember the distance has changed. You adjust for that, that allows you to utilize your same actions, just with a little bit more forethought. And do remember, lefties do like protecting specific areas a lot more. So if you're looking at me, I'm on guard. Position 6 is very well protected. If you attack me there, I have area 6. I can tuck my arm back to block that area. I'm always inviting on 4. It's always an easy parry for me, and I can hit you in my reverse.